everybody, and welcome to a very chilly Dynamic GT League's Toyota Jnrs Race 8 from Lake Maggiore, but it's one of the little circuits, and we'll get to that in a moment as we have a look at the current championship standings. Steve F1 leading the way on 115 points, 8 ahead of Dave the Harp, who is 2 ahead of SGP. Bit of a gap there to Demon R, who's got Conrad closing in on him. Jason only a couple of 2 or 3 behind him. Then we've got a gap to SRI, Formula Gary, Rich Blues, Arpout, Jimmy, Bob, Twilight, and the non-scorers. And joining us on commentary today, it's Ray. How are you, Ray?
I'm doing very well. How's yourself?
I'm absolutely steaming as we are about to take a look at the wonderful sunshine. By steaming, I didn't mean drunk. I meant like I'm so hot, I'm steaming, which isn't true.
Insane.
Yeah.
Look at that helicopter just.
Is it? Hey, it's one of those conspiracy theory airplanes that doesn't move.
Steve F1 in second, Dave the Harp third, SGP fourth, then Demon R on fifth. I'm sure that's right, fifth, yeah. How many drivers was there? Can't remember. Jason sixth, Uppal seventh, Rich Blues eighth.
Yep.
He likes that eighth. Look at that helicopter. There's a glitch in the world.
It's not getting further away, is it?
Lemmy and Gary's, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, only 9 drivers today, with a few dropping out on race days. We're at 5 lights, and away they go. That was a very long hold on the lights there. Oh, it's a lightning start by Dave the Harp, up into second place already, going up alongside Conrad. First corner is a tricky right-hander, but Dave's into the lead.
Yeah, but he's a bit wide, so then Steve F1, then Conrad there on the inside, getting a better run. Dave the Harp on the grass there. SGP's managed to get him. He'll have dirty tyres coming down into this hairpin, so he just needs to watch where he's braking.
He's got a penalty as well for going wide as SGP up the inside of Steve F1 now into the little hairpin as we now take the run towards Granny's Pit as we know it, the downhill banked right-hand corner. A fantastic corner in these cars. If you get it right, then you go right. If you get it wrong, you go left. And you don't want to do that. Oh, Gary! Oh, that was very, very long.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he done it on his own. Or is somebody waiting?
Someone's waiting. I think it might be Arpout. As Dave the Harp, we can see the SGP's gone a little bit wide. Yeah, Dave the Harp has got a penalty. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, this is one of the new circuits on GT7, and it is a Lake Maggiore circuit. Oh, Conrad dipping a wheel. Someone else went a little bit wide there as well. It's a very short circuit. Lap times will be around the 1-minute 5s. I think pole was like a 1:05.1. Tricky corner, as you mentioned earlier. This sort of left-hand kink into the tight hairpin. I mean, how would you take it, Ray? Bent over?
I think the first part in third gear, and then I was jumping down into second for the hairpin, maybe first if I was a wee bit too late on the brakes at the hairpin. But coming out the hairpin, and you've got to watch as well because the car tends to want to oversteer.
Steve F1 may have a decent run here on Conrad, flat out final corner, but if you do get a little bit wrong, you could end up over towards our barrier. On the pack cam, we've got Rich Blues behind Jason. Jason, having a look at Demon R, is he? Interestingly as well, Ray, these first 2 corners, I think they're corners that we could see drivers taking a couple of different lines through. They may not want to be, but we'll see.
Yeah, because it's such a... they're kind of like long corners and the track's quite wide as well, so you might have ones that are taking it up just that wee bit tighter or turn in that wee bit earlier and go for a gap, where the ones that are taking it just that wee bit wider, getting the later apex, and you just get to that one part where the 2 cars meet, as we see Steve F1 going round the outside of Conrad.
yeah, he is. He may get that done, you know, having the inside line into the left-hander. SGP also giving him a bit of a bum draft. Yeah, so Steve F1 is through. SGP is through, so it's a double switch for the lead. Well, it's a single switch. But Conrad loses. Oh, SGP a little bit wide. Manages to stay on the road. Conrad having a look up the inside. That could take him a little bit wider mid-corner. I thought he was going to catch the back of SGP there. See, Conrad sort of line into the first corner did compromise him into the second part there. It's something that the drivers will have to be aware of. As Demon R, I think, has compromised himself as Rich Blues is all over the back of him.
Yeah, and then this hairpin, SGP's taking it tight, he's all over the sausage and back out onto the grass there. You'll see drivers taking different lines at the hairpin as well. Like some take it nice and tight and some take it nice and wide.
But the interesting thing there as well is, and we'll see it with the banked hairpin we've just gone round here with SGP. Up at the front, where these guys are sort of a lot more single file, they may be able to choose whatever line they want to take into the corners. In the pack, though, there may not be much of an option. Drivers may feel that they have to defend, or if they don't defend, they may find a car up alongside them. As Dave Hart just ahead of Jason here. Really, Dave could do with, I was going to say picking up the pace, but that's not. Oh, he's gone wide. That'll be a penalty. I don't know. I don't know if Jason assisted Dave there, going a little bit wide. Oh, Demon R's punted Jason. Oh, I wonder if Jason may have been trying to he's let Dave through. I wonder if Jason was trying to let Dave through. And Demon R was not aware. And gives him a little nudge up the tickly rear.
Yeah, did he do that in the racing line, or was Demon R off the racing line and just went into the back hill?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
His art pal's having a wee sneaky look. He's just trying to get Demon R to look in his mirror before the corners, hoping that he misses his apex, braking, sorry.
Well, what I'll say,
apex.
Any chance to ram a Swede up the rear end, you gotta go for it. So yeah, interesting to see all slight different lines through the final corner. Art pal run a little bit wide. Demon R going up the inside into turn one. Is he going to get it held? Yes, he is. So through he goes. But this is where I was sort of mentioning that Dave can't really.
Here comes Jason back at Demon R. See how he went in that tighter line, but as you can see, Demon R's got the run, but just keeping the speed and just that little wider, and it's getting a wee bit cloudy.
Oh, it is, but also it's getting a little bit richy. This is where, a number of different lines into the little hairpin. As we mentioned earlier, that in the pack, opportunities will arise. But yeah, Dave the Hart really, regarding the championship, cannot afford to let Steve F1 and SGP run away up at the front. It's kind of catch-22 for Dave. If he starts defending, he could end up losing a bit of time. If he's able to focus on that racing line, he's got the pace, I think, to catch. It really has got cloudy, hasn't it?
Yeah, temperatures will drop. Some drivers like it when the temperatures drop, and some drivers don't.
Ooh, yeah.
Some think it makes cars more slidey round the track, and others like it because it keeps the tyres that wee bit cooler, as we see Rich getting bombed out to the back there by a couple of cars.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, temperatures can make a big difference. I know that Twilight, for example, has been suffering a little bit with. Oh, that's a nice switchback by Jason, but he's now on the outside for the hairpin. He may get a decent run out wide, a faster run over Gary, but yeah, Twilight's suffering a little bit from temperatures, and his condition is actually worsening. Twilight, the new pussycat, is spreading quickly.
Twilight isn't racing?
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's not been too well because of the temperatures. The new pussycat is spreading quickly.
Whoa.
Aww! Was your brain trying to work that out then? Or have you seen it?
I've not seen it.
Oh, right. Yeah, you were supposed to go, what's new pussycat? And I go, whoa.
I was like, what's it done about pussycat? And then Jones song just came into my head. I was like, whoa, whoa.
Well done.
Sorry, did I ruin your joke?
My one and only joke for this race, and it's Dave.
I've not seen that, so my brain worked for once.
Bloody hell! Clearly, you've not been drinking. Gary and Rich side by side. I think Demon R may have given Dave up a bit of a tag up the rear into the hairpin. Dave's got away with it though. But this is interesting where Dave in 4th place. Oh, he's big! Oh, Jason big sideways as well. Gary's straightening him up a bit. I was going to say, Dave in that 4th place, it would appear that when he's got a gap of about a second or more, 5th place isn't getting boost to close the gap in. So I think Dave in 4th has got an opportunity to try and break away. But that moment of dipping a wheel's cost him big time. So the question now is Demon R going to try and bump draft and speed up or not? But having said, or as Rich Blues goes quite wide, they're very wide. Yeah, this isn't really a track where you can do a lot of bump drafting, is it? Because, on the pack cam, the leaders are quite close.
Our pals are way out wide coming in there.
Not as wide as Demon R was there. Yeah, I think a bit of evasive taken by Demon R there, maybe. That's allows Jason through. So Dave's got the gap again that he needs. So if he can focus on going forwards, he could be all right. But yeah, the pack cam, I mean, it looks like on the pack cam, the leading 3 are kind of about...
Demon R with a great exit out of the Granny's pit.
Well, he's polished it.
Yeah, and it's side by side through here. Can he go flat out or will he have to lift?
Yeah, well, a bit too much curb and a bit too much sideways. So it managed to hold on. Arpal coming in now as well up the inside of Jason. So I mean, Demon R dipping a wheel again. May get away with it there because there isn't really anywhere to go. The leading, that was the leading 3. Quick look at those. SGP really is close, isn't he?
Yeah, and Gunn was close as well. Could see he had a bit of a gap after that switch, double, whatever it was, double, what would you call it? Because he lost 2 positions, a double lose.
Yeah, don't put 1 L on your forehead, put 2.
In 2 dumps in a row. So Conrad's dropped off again. So he might have had a mistake coming out of Granny's pits.
Yeah, might have done. I think maybe we should have a think about renaming Granny's pits. I mean, I wouldn't want it to be Sound System. At the end of the day, a lot of women actually turn into good drivers. So if you're a good driver, watch out for turning women. And at this point, we get cancelled. Sorry. But yeah, okay.
They won't even hear your apology.
Has Conrad dropped back even more? I don't know. Dave the Arp's got him. See, Dave's got that gap again. Oh, that's my phone.
Yeah. Oh, Rich over the sausage cup there at the Little King. Let's see if we get different lines coming through here. No, kind of more or less the same. Well, they're in single file, but if somebody was going to attack, then we'd see. But Jason getting a better exit. He's pushing Arpal up the hill.
He is. That will help them to close in towards Dave, and that's how the gap could come down quite a bit. Rich Blues, though, having none of the helping game, he's going for the overtakes into 1. Oh, but he doesn't quite. Has he got it done? I don't know. He didn't. I think. He's actually maybe backing out. Maybe he did. Demon R. A bit out of shape.
That might be better. He's still out of shape. Here comes Gary and Jason either side of him. Yeah. Into this wee kink. Where's Gary? Gary's backed out. Fucking hell, Gary's been doing that a lot recently.
Yeah, he definitely knows what kids. Demon R losing out there from Jason. But once again, that gives Dave the Arp that bit of a gap so Dave can focus on going forwards. I mean, one of the problems that Dave's got is that Conrad's pace in qualifying was so good that Dave may struggle to catch Connor But having said that, is that Jason ahead of Artpal? They're side by side. As we switch to have a look at Steve F1, the pack cam may switch to the rest. No, it's not. We're going to double the action.
Double trouble.
Right, so SGP is actually closing in on Steve F1. So, yeah, Connor though. Yeah, I mean, he had one lap in the 106s, but his lap times. I mean, Dave's 105.4s. Okay, 105.9s there, 106.4 for Rich, I think it was. So Dave's got the lap times to potentially break away from the pack here, or at least stay far enough ahead that they don't cause him too many problems. The Demon are struggling big time with the little hairpin at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like it. And so Steve F1 didn't make the apex there. SGP's got a run.
That he has. Is he going to bump draft or is he going to overtake? Well, the thing is, you might bump drafting up here. It's not a bad idea. Make the move into one. Why not? Is Steve F1 going to go defensive? No, he's not. And interestingly, SGP's not forcing a move down into one. I mean, it's something we may see a little bit more in the pack. We saw Rich was forcing it. Connor dipping a wheel again. But yeah, so in this situation, like SGP wasn't looking at making a risky move down into one, but in the pack we may see that happen a little bit more. But then there is differences. Oh, Steve F1's on a wobble. Yeah, but there is differences.
Yeah.
Boost. Oh, SGP going for a move.
Has he got it? Yeah, Steve F1, has he got the faster line, the wider line? No, he's behind SGP coming out of there.
But I think with that one, I think Steve F1 got a bit deep in the kink, and that opened the door for the opportunity into the hairpin, and SGP jumped at it. And because Steve F1 was a little bit out of shape into those two corners, it did compromise him. He couldn't catch back up. But Conrad now, because of that little tete-a-tete, Conrad closes in a little bit, tries to make it like 3 peas in a pod. At least that's always what I thought. But it's petit pois with peas in it.
Is it not Monge 2? It's...
Oh, there's that one as well. Monge 2 is definitely not a threesome.
That's because you're munching 2.
1, 3, aye.
Well, that is a threesome then.
If you're munching 2. So, if you're eating a Twix, Conrad, giving Steve F1 a little hello, I'm here. I've tried to do an accent and it came out so good. Connor does not sound like that at all, does he? Why, he doesn't say that either because he's not from Newcastle.
No. Do you know?
What he does say is fucking hell. Excuse my language. Yeah, he's kind of dipping that wheel. It's compromised him big time. Dave Harp still got that gap look on the pack cam. Connor's last lap was a 105.0. And he's had another one as well. 2. He's actually had more. Connor's pace is rapid. Gary, the wall there. Oh, there's a Jason there. Can Gary hold it? Oh, no. Oh, no. Squeeze the lemon.
Just watch out for the pips.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Demon R.
Oh, Demon R wide. That's going to be a penalty, surely.
Dodgy track limits driving
there we go.
Demon R. Oh, pal up the inside, is he? No.
Is Jason going to follow him? Or...
Switch back.
Demon R finally got that corner quite okay, but look at the 2 guys.
Well, that's the thing, we get a switch back in there, you can get such a good run, but to be fair, oh no, Demon R's not serving his penalty yet, he'll have to serve it on the next lap. Maybe Demon R's going to go for a switch back on the pair of them again. Oh, this could be into 3 wide through the S's. I know 2 wide's doable. What about 3?
Oh, sideways.
Someone else, Rich is getting in on this as well. Oh, to be fair, they've dealt with that.
I think
very
he's just
nicely.
overtook Rich.
Holy Capone! I did not know about this camera angle coming in here, eh?
I think he's overtook Rich. I think Rich was ahead of you going into that corner.
He might well have been. I really don't know. Connor has dropped off quite a bit on the pack cam. The pack cam looking at the leading for his Rich Blues. Is he going to have a look? Oi, boy! Smash it, basket!
Nearly kill that, pal.
I think that was a moment where he realised, oh, I should have pressed the brake.
Yeah. That's not the brake, that's a clutch.
Yeah. I think if that had happened, I think Artpal would have ended up in the next territory.
We'll need to ask him how's his pedals.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Nice line through the hairpin from Rich there. Great speed as well. Not that the viewers can see it, but he went through there with a minimum speed of about 73 mile an hour, and on average, minimum speed sort of in the mid to low 60s. Demon R and Artpal side by side. This will allow Rich to catch up, and on the pack cam, we can see that the leading two have closed together a little bit more. Steve F1 closed. Oh, SGP doing a bit as well.
Yeah, I thought with all that battling with Jason, Artpal and Demon R, they wouldn't be as close to Dave the Harp as they are now. As Artpal, is he looking at, or is it Demon R that's going round the outside, or is Artpal going on the inside? I've lost count.
I think it's going to be a bit of both, isn't it? The switchback definitely seems like a possibility at the hairpin there. Is Rich Blue's going to get in on this as well? Yeah, not really anywhere for him to go. He backs out of it. That's nice to see from Rich. He's got a lovely run out of the hairpin though. Oh, Demon R, Artpal side by side.
Yeah, but I think it was quite well that Rich never collided there.
He's had a
Would you reckon? Do you reckon it was Demon R a bit late at pulling out there, or do you think Rich should have been a wee bit more cautious because the two cars in front were battling? Jason, what happened there?
Wow. Yeah. I was listening to what you were saying, and
Was that a push to pass? Is he not waiting?
Well, let's see what happens on the straight. I genuinely don't. I mean, a situation like that, usually you'd think the driver would know that there's been a bit of contact, and unless there was something unusual going on the track that Jason was not aware of. But that's really stitched Dave and passing it. Demon R dipping a wheel. Drops Dave from 4th place. He'd held it for about 9 laps. He's now down into 7th. And the thing is, we know what Jason's like when he gets to the head of the pack.
Yeah, he's quite consistent in his lap times and just can manage that gap.
Oh, hang on. I'm hearing from Dave Mahar. It's not consistent, it's consistent.
Is Artpal and Dave the Harp side by side into the airpin? Is Artpal going to do he can't do his switcheroo because he's too close to Dave the Harp?
He's got the slipstream now. Now Demon R sharing that slipstream. Dave Vaffel making it 3-1. Oh! I think that was potentially over the limit of moving back to the racing line and there being a little bit of an overlap still. Or 3 wide, or it's the tricky when you go 3 wide through these corners, they do suddenly become much more difficult and a lot slower, and that's compromised Dave a bit more. He doesn't need this in the championship battle.
Nice. He was looking a bit skitterish going into that first corner, like his car was moving around quite a bit.
Yeah, Artpal's car's moving around so much he's disappeared. Oh, there he is.
Where is it? Oh, there he is. It's like, where's he gone?
Now, let's see, can Dave get it? Just give Gary a little touch there, the door opens for Demon R. Now Jason dipping a wheel, Artpal getting wobbly in the back. I mean, something we do see with these cars is that if you do have a bit of a moment, it does compromise you for a while. Is that Demon R slowing down?
I don't know.
Gary and Dave.
Or was he wanting back onto the racing line to get a better run up the hill?
Or was he serving a penalty?
Oh, could have been serving a penalty.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's too much going on.
Dave going defensive into one. It's not a bad idea.
He went defensive, but he didn't make the apex. He left the apex.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. If you start going defensive and you get off the racing line, the leading 3 on the pack camera, Conrad has really closed that gap in on Steve F1. I don't know if Steve F1 and SGP have had moments, remember. Yeah, Conrad's flying at the moment. Dave now breaking away from Demon R, which pleases Gary to try and close up to Jason. This is where Dave might find.
Look at Conrad's lap time, a 104. 9. Is that 999? I don't know.
It might be. Hello, what's your emergency?
He's going too fast.
No, it's I'm fucking freezing. Is Dave the Ark going to go defensive once again? Yeah, he is. I know I said earlier about this. There's not a lot of places you can bump draft around. It's all Demon R's disappeared.
Yeah, he was on the marbles and it just upset his car.
Yeah, Rich has just absolutely annihilated him as well.
I don't know if that was in control of his vehicle at that moment in time.
No, it's true. Who, Rich? He definitely wasn't. No. To be fair,
Demon R, you're not.
He was crashing. Gary having a cheeky.
Gary having a cheeky. He's like, I see the cheeky girls on that pal's car.
I wanna get close to you. See, now, interestingly as well, so Dave Harp's in the situation that others have been in the prior 23 laps of this race, where Jason is now where Dave was. And Dave isn't getting the boost at this point. I don't believe 5th place is getting boost, which means that they get a little swamped from behind. But this is where for Dave he's kind of like, I kind of feel like screaming at the monitor and going, "Don't defend!" But then if you don't defend, you could end up getting attacked and losing more time. It's a lose-lose situation, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you want somebody behind you at that when you're at that stage that's going to like push you along.
Someone that's going to make you feel all warm and cuddly.
Yeah, but that's not our drivers, is it?
I don't know. Gary is more than capable of doing that.
Boosting you off the track.
Who's that? Art Pat was having a cheeky look around the outside there. So yeah, it's this is the interesting part for Dave now, where this is where the cars behind. As Connor's on the back of Steve. Conrad's last lap was a 104.8. Wow!
I told you 104.999.
Oh yeah, it was.
21.
Yeah, 20 was the 997. He's gone Porsche. He's gone Porsche to emergency. Yeah, so Connor is absolutely
and then he's
right.
went even faster with an 848.
Yeah. So this is kind of what I was saying earlier about, like, I think Dave had the pace to potentially catch Steve F1 and SGP, but maybe not Connor, because Connor's rapid at the moment.
Yeah, 848.
Yeah. Steve F1 went a little bit deep there, I thought, on turning, but he's okay. Dave the Arp's a little bit closer to Jason on the pack cam than he's been for a while. This is run through the big hairpin.
Yeah, as long as he gets a run out the hairpin, then he should keep on the back of Jason. He should be within slipstream the now.
Should potentially.
For the looks of him. That'll be helping him out just this wee bit. See how he gets into turn 1.
Yeah, see, he's not defended into 1 this time, but look how much he's closed in. I mean, with these cars, you've got to be within 7/10 of a second to get the slipstream. Kind of sideways, but it's not really slowing him down. Taking a slightly deeper or later turn in. Oh, Dave the Arp, I I thought he disappeared, but we're on board with Dave the Harp on the pack cam. 3 wide behind him. That'll give Dave. Oh no, it's going the wrong way. Oh, it's a disaster. Oh, I don't really know. Sort of under braking, the car just seemed to go left. I don't know whether it perhaps down too many gears too quick, or I don't know. I'm just hypothesising as Gary makes a move on Harp and went deep. As Conrad all over the back of Steve F1 now.
They're going for the move into turn 1. He's looking. He's got it in there. Steve F1 could make the apex. Yeah, he's got that. Steve F1 going to have a look into turn 2, or maybe wait till the hairpin.
Well, I'm thinking Steve F1 might be thinking Conrad was just caught up so quick. Don't slow Connor down and see if Connor can catch SGP. Because in a moment we'll talk a little bit about the championship standings. Demon Arc coming under a lot of pressure from Gary. Gary having a look at the inside. But again, you don't really want to be on the inside here. Because it makes you be on the outside here, and then someone like Artpal sneaks up the inside.
Rich was way off. That's where we got 11 laps to go. This one included 10.
Yes, something like that, yeah. And interestingly, look at that. Connor has already closed the gap in on SGP. He's, SGP's lap times are not slow, mid to low 105s. Connor and SGP both went a little bit wide there. I wonder what Conrad's last lap time was. We'll have to keep an eye out if we go on board with him. What lap 27 lap time was. SGP's was 105.9. So it was a little slower and a little bit sideways there. As Jason is still ahead of the pack.
Yeah, he's just doing enough to stay ahead of this pack. As we see Dave the Harp catching back up. Oh, Demon Harp.
Yeah, big wobble there. Oh, I think Dave may have been taking evasive as well. Sorry, Dave. Yeah, so regarding the championship standings, Steve F1 was leading the standings from Dave the Harp by 8 points, I believe it was, and was 10 ahead of SGP. So for Steve F1, Conrad catching and passing SGP helps Steve F1 out, really, because he would lose less points to SGP than if they finished first and second. Like, if it was first and second, SGP would gain 3 points, whereas if they finished second and third, SGP would only gain 2 points, so it works for Steve F1. For Dave the Harp, no unfortunate. Oh, Gary, wow! He loves that wall. He loves them sausages.
Dave the Harp having a look on the inside of Artpal. He's got to give them the inside of turn 2, but Artpal, you could stay that wee bit wide and keep the power down and maybe just get ahead coming into this left-hand kink as well. Just the hairpin, or Rich is coming in as well, so he's stuck in the middle, so that's going to add more to it. But Dave the Harp's going to be tight.
Boosted.
Oh, he's going to be an extra boost.
That's actually helped him out quite nicely. It wasn't intentional, but yeah, Conrad had a massive slide out of the little hairpin as well, by the way. He nearly did what Demon R did earlier. Realised that Dave was there, though, just about gives him the space. Dave maybe compromised with his run here.
Oh, look at Rich read that well. He's seen Dave the Harp going to go out, and Rich switched sides with him.
That he did. Okay, so look at the pack cam. Connor hunting down SGP. He's all over his rear wing. Yes,
as we go on board.
Lap 27.
Lap 27, you said, a 1:5.222.
Yeah, it's 1 minute 5 ducks.
2. A 1 minute 5 what?
Ducks. Twos look
I can't hear.
Twos look like ducks. Or
right.
swan, like a swan neck. Okay, SGP coming under a lot of pressure as we're on lap 30 of 37. Jason.
These lap times are 105.5s and above. What was his 27? 105.9, so Conrad was what, 6 tenths faster?
About that 7, but he has just done a 105.2 as SGP. and Connor's closed in on him, so God knows what Connor's lap 30 lap time was. I mean, God doesn't know because he doesn't exist. But anyway, so yeah, fascinating battle going on up at the front here, and fascinating battle going on in the pack as well. We've got Jason in that 4th place. He's managed to hold on to. It's Conrad still 2 different lines through the hairpin. Let's see who gets the better run out there and up the hill. Or we could just look at this instead. Close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
Ooh, rumba!
It says rumba.
Yeah. Art Pal spent most of the race thinking it said rimbar, which would be about right for Rich, but it's a rum. Oh, Connor on the pack cam. He's got a run on SGP. I'd expect to see the cameras switch over any moment because he could be having a look down into 1. SGP looked at going defensive. Rich and Demon are side by side as Rich goes a little wide. Connor didn't go for the move. Oh, Rich a little off the track. Oh, this is getting busy into 1.
Yep, 3 wide, anyone?
No thanks, we'll go single file. Oh, have you heard the joke about constipation?
What about it?
Well, I'm just wondering if you've heard the joke about it. That wasn't the joke.
What about it?
Oh! Well, it's not out yet.
Alright. Are you waiting for me to say no?
Yes!
This
and
is
for me
not
to go,
out.
neither have I, it's not out yet. Get with the programme, Ray. Oh, 3 wide at the back. And Dave backed out of it, went for a switch back. Oh, Demon Arms wide. Oh, and Art Pal.
Oh, Apple's been collected. He's still going. No, he's not. Yes, no, he's not.
No. Oh. Gary and Dave side by side. Gary loves the wall on the exit here. Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
He's Gary is just leaving a bit of lemon zest on the wall. That's all. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, what's it? Lemons that side or chili that side?
I think it's lemons that side.
Lemon. I don't know.
Now, oh, Rich trying to cheeky little switch back. Oh yeah, on the pack cam. Go on.
Yeah, Conrad's got a different line through that corner. He catches up, but it kind of equals out on the drive. But it's become, yeah, this is where he gets a good run on Steve F1 up the hill. Maybe on Conrad, what lap was it you wanted to know?
30. That was a 105.3, so it wasn't rapid. Didn't actually close in on that lap, but he's definitely closing in now. Meow and meow.
105.0.
Yeah. Connor is definitely quick around this track, that's for certain. SGP started to go a little bit defensive. That could compromise them, but it could also bring Steve F1 back into this, as we've got 3.5 laps to go.
Conrad having a wee look, or was that just the car was a wee bit unbalanced there?
Could be either. I think SGP's going defensive, you know, or maybe he's trying a straighter entry into the hairpin, trying to bee it off. On the pack cam, still got Jason ahead of the pack as Davey Arp and Demon R side by side. Demon R's gone wide. Conrad later turn in on this occasion. That could give him a really good run up the hill and through the S's.
Yeah, it looked as if he was going for the overlap up the hill, but he's still tucked in behind, getting the slipstream as much as possible.
He's got to go for it here.
SGP, sorry, SGP's not defending. Oh, it was a bit late in that.
I think Connor thought.
Oh, he's having a look. He's having a look.
It kind of looked hesitant from SGP about whether to defend or not, and by the time he decided what he was going to do, Connor was hesitant, but then stuck his nose in and got in there. And unfortunately for SGP, I don't think there's going to be anything he can do about Conrad's pace here. Other than just watch him drive away into the distance. As we go back to the pack, David Harp in 5th place, with Demon R and Art Pal right there as well. And
3 laps to go.
Yeah, just getting a bit of red on the front of that car of Jnrs. I mean, look at how much Conrad has opened the gap already to SGP.
Yeah, and that back cam, yeah.
I mean, it's almost like he's bent over and showed him his crack and gone, can't fill that gap.
He's not Scottish.
Well, no, true. He's close though. Closer. Oh, side by side. Demon R Art Power. Rich coming in as well. There's only a couple of laps to go. SGP's actually closed the gap in on the pack cam down into turn 2. So is Art Power going to have a look up the inside of 1? He is, but it's on Demon R, not Dave the Harp. But I think
We're going to work out on turn 2 that he's got Dave the Harp as well. He's got a tighter line, but then we've got the right hand kinks. So it's a double right hand kink here coming out of the turn 2 and to here down to the hairpin. So that gives the inside car the line, but then he's kept it in there. Oh, Demon R, a wee bit too much power too soon.
I think Demon R was also bump drafting Dave there, so Art Powell, although he had a really good run, couldn't make the move on Dave. Art Powell makes the move on Demon R. Oh, tags the side of Dave the Arp. That gives Demon R the opportunity. Here comes Rich Blues as well. Oh, this could get tight. Oh, Conrod's starting last lap at race.
Already. Here we go.
Looking on the pack cam, go on.
No, wonder why we're watching these 3 that are spread out a bit.
There's nothing happening here, cameraman. On the pack cam, no, we've got Demon R side by side with Dave the Arp through the kinks and the kisses that you were on about. Oh, SGP! Woo! He had a look. He really had a look. So even though Connor's had the pace, SGP, that may have been his one and only opportunity. Or Dave the Arp up the inside. Gone a little deep maybe at the little hairpin on the pack cam. That could compromise him. We're 4 wide on the pack cam through the kink down towards the big corner. SGP taking a tight line up into the S's. Trying to do something different. It's not worked. Connor's going to take the win. Unless he bins it now into the Gary Waldy. But he hasn't. Connor wins. SGP second. Steve F1 third. Jason's going to hold on to 4th, is he? And then we've got a right battle going on. Demon R, Dave, Rich Blues is swapping places. Oh, they're into the barriers. Oh, and they're sliding. I don't know exactly what was going on there. But what a race, nevertheless.
Yeah, that was a great race. That was fantastic work from Conrad up at the front there.
Yeah.
I think he just kind of bided his time with his overtakes.
Absolutely.
I think that's what you can do up at the front, isn't it?
Yeah, you do see, you have a bit more time to work out where you're quicker, where you're stronger, where you're not stronger, and things like that. In the pack, you don't really get that time. But as we saw there with Jason, once Jason got into that 4th place, he was untouchable from the rest of them. They couldn't catch him. And I think in a way that's kind of what we were saying about when Dave was in that 4th place. Dave was doing absolutely fine until I think he dipped a wheel. Once he dipped a wheel, he dropped the gap, closed in a little bit. Once he started then going a bit defensive, it was trouble. Jason was lucky enough that no one got close enough to him that he had to go defensive, so he was able to just focus on his lap times. Or on his racing line. I didn't see what lap times Jason was doing, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was really consistent. So for the likes of Connor, though, to have that pace, absolutely phenomenal, brilliant drive. And actually, something I do want to say is, I mean, I remember on the last G spot we did, which was a long time ago now, and there is still some stuff to show on a G spot at some point. On the last G spot that we did, we talked a lot about there was track limits penalties, there was collision penalties, and unfortunately for Connor was one of those drivers that was caught up in a few collisions where he did receive some penalties. What I do want to say though is that as much as we don't like giving penalties and that kind of stuff, the response from Connor has been nothing short of brilliant. His behaviour on the track has been brilliant. Over the last couple of races, I know personally I've seen where he's made a few mistakes, had a bit of contact with drivers, and he's making sure he's waiting. But also his overall racing etiquette or decisions has just been so much better, and it's also allowed him to have those opportunities to win races.
All right. Calm down here, not get his big scouse head out the door now.
Well, that's true. Hey, it's not his head you want to worry about. It's the Palmos where he's from. You have a few of them, you can't get your gut through a door. And if you don't know what a Palmo is, well, you should actually know what a Palmo is.
A what?
A Palmo.
Palmo?
Palmo. P-A-R-M-O. Wow. A chef that don't know what a Palmo is. A Palmo is the most famous food dish from like the Newcastle, Middlesbrough, Sunderland area. It's like, you know, like most places, Friday night you might have a chippy tea. Well, on a Friday night you have a Palmo. If you're going to the pub for a bite to eat, you're having a Palmo. Now, don't ask me what the fuck it is. I don't know.
It's like a fucking chicken lasagna type thing.
Kind of, yeah. It's fucking massive.
Parmo or a Teesside Parmesan.
Yeah.
Originated in Middlesbrough.
There you go. And admittedly, bloody brilliant. If you're ever in that way, in that part of the country, folks, have a Parmo. Amazing. There's actually a couple of YouTube guys that do like food reviews, but they do like fast food reviews. And
I think I've seen them.
Yeah, and these
he
guys
takes his own meat table and sits at his own meat table.
I might have done. The only one I've seen is when he went to these guys in Middlesbrough, took him out for a night out, and they sat in a fucking bus stop. Eating a Parmo out of a tray like we'd have like chips and cheese with mayo, or like whatever you'd have for your drunken food. And yeah, having Parmo in a takeaway in the bus stop. And he actually is one of the best takeaway flight foods he's ever had.
Yeah, it's like it's not got the past, the lasagna sheets on it. It's like breaded colour of chicken, so breaded chicken or pork, topped with bechamel sauce and cheese, and it says something about tomato sauce as well.
Yeah, there's quite
tomato type stuff.
Yeah, but there's quite a few variations. But yeah, very, very good, very nice, very good, very nice, very good, very nice. Yeah, so it's the gut you have to watch out for up there. But yeah, so great race for Conrad. SCP and Steve F1, they didn't do anything wrong.
They've done a great race. It just Conrad was too fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason in fourth place. Jason doing what Jason does, punting Dave off, and then being untouchable.
I wonder what happened. Because Jason would normally wait.
Yeah,
but he's not waited. Has something happened that we're not seeing?
Maybe. I mean, the thing is, there was a moment earlier in the race where we think Jason did hit the back of Dave, but it was so minor. But Jason let Dave through, and it is one of those where normally, if Jason knows he's done wrong, he'll wait. So yeah, I could only think that something, I don't know, maybe he had his eyes closed, maybe he sneezed and didn't know. It could have been one of those, you go sneeze and then go, oh, where's Dave gone? Oh well, see ya. But yeah, so I mean, maybe
they farted him before he followed through his chicken.
I actually did that yesterday, and I had to check, and I was safe. It hadn't reached the clothing, so I was okay. But it was one of those where
I couldn't exit your ass.
Well, it's one of those where, you know, like where I mean, for anyone that's ever farted and you've shit yourself, you know this, right? You go to fart and it's the warm bubble that goes, bloop, and you're like, oh no! And you can feel it's warm between your bum cheeks. It's like, oh shit, run to the bathroom, check the clothing, absolutely fine. Just. So you see, I would say it's not shitting yourself unless you get shit on your clothing. Anyway, yeah, the pack battle there was very exciting to watch. So much going on, and on what is a very tricky little course to play, a very tricky course to race when there are so many cars around you in the pack. I'm not surprised we saw little nudges and bumps and stuff like that. It's going to happen, but yeah, for the most part, some really entertaining racing in there. For the championship, holy cow! Things may have just turned around a little bit. I don't know exactly what the standing situation is. We will have a look in a few moments' time. Yeah, something we need to do at some point is announce the next championship car and the ARC car. Right?
Yeah, especially if there. How many races are left till the end? What are we on, round 8?
Yeah,
we've got one more round.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
If the calendar that SGP has put together gets agreed by the admins, the ARC isn't going to be until the first week of January. So we've got a bit of time. But yeah, we'll try and get that information out before the end of this championship. But also the next championship car, because that's still to be announced as well. Something I do want to quickly talk about though, and I know I talked with the admins about it the other day. For any of the drivers that may not remember or didn't hear, obviously we've done this championship with the normal boost setting, and we did loads of testing on the boost, and whether it's the same as with GT Sport, blah blah blah, and it is, and there's a few factors that could make it different. For example, as not having any pit stops, perhaps emphasises the ability for the leading few to break away, do consistent lap times, and stay ahead. There's no other scenarios in the race that takes them out of those leading positions and puts them in the pack through tyre wear, fuel usage, stuff like that. And we'd already announced that the next championship that we're going to do is going to be similar to the one we're doing now, but with the other boost setting. And what I want to sort of mention with that is that a couple of things that the drivers will experience is that if the leader gets more than 1 second in front, so there isn't going to be any pit stops or tyre wear, but if the leader gets more than 1 second in front, their lap time will be reduced. So really, they're never going to be able to get more than 1 second in front. Could keep this interesting. But also in the pack, the drivers in the pack will probably be going a bit slower as well than the normal boost setting, which could spread things out a little bit. We may see a little bit more single file. We don't know. But what I just want to let drivers be aware of is that we could go into that championship and drivers go, this boost setting's great, why don't we use this? Well, it's because of what it might be like if there was pit stops on. How that boost setting then works in that scenario would be very, very different. But we'll find out how it's going to be anyway. So yeah, just go into it open-minded, folks.
Yeah.
Talking about being open-minded, when I was a child, I used to enjoy making sandcastles with my grandfather.
Yeah, did they have his juggling balls out?
No, but my mother wasn't very happy. She made me put the urn back on the mantle. Okay, so yeah, I think it's just about covered everything. Other than to say thank you, Ray, for joining us on commentary.
No, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure.
It has. It always is. And yeah, the last race of the championship at Spain, Barcelona, no chicane.
No chicane.
No chicane. Thank the Lord for that layout of the track.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so to find out who's going to end up being the Toyota Junior champion, if it's going to be Steve F1, SGP, or Dave the Harp, there's only going to be two ways you can find out. One is to watch the footage. The other is to just have a look on the Facebook page once all the information's been put out, but that's boring. So you might as well go and watch the race with us talking about weird stuff along the way. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I missed a belter last week.
Ah.
I did not watch that. It's a belter last week.
I dared go back and listen to it.
I can't remember it.
Oh yeah, it's probably not wise to do commentary at like 1:30 in the morning after a night on the beers, but it was fun at the time. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay, let's kick on and have a look at the confirmed race result and the championship standings.
Ta-da.
Conrad then with the victory, the maximum 20 points ahead of SGP in second place, Steve F1 in third, Jason holding on to that fourth place ahead of Demonar in fifth. It was so close over the line as well from fifth down, but it was Demonar ahead of Dave the Harp, just ahead of Rich Blues, who was alongside Art Pal but just ahead of him, and then Formula Gary in the mix as well. There was one report that wasn't a report, so a sort of confirmation really requested, which will be covered on the G-Spot when we do it. We will do one eventually, and it was to do with the moment between Dave the Harp and Jason. We saw it looked like Jason knocked Dave the Harp deep into a corner, so we will have a look at that, but it wasn't a report, so there's no penalties, but we will have a look into that. I will say actually as well, Jason, if you're listening to this, thank you for listening. Hopefully the subtitles in Swedish make sense of what Ray says. Actually, could you imagine how bad that must be? A Swedish translation of Ray's Scottish. Yeah. Not going to be easy, that one. Okay, so yeah, Jason, if you are listening, if you don't know about that and you've seen it on this, have a look on your replay and let us know what happened, or if you know what happened at the time, because it'd be interesting to know. Okay, so current championship standings then. After that result, Steve F1 still leads the way, still from 8 points to second place, but it's now SGP in second place, with Dave the Harp dropping down to third with one race to go. I'm not going to say that it's the championship is decided, because it really isn't. But SGP and Dave the Harp are going to need Steve F1 to have an absolute mare in the final race of the season to stop him from taking that title. So yeah, Dave Harp in third on 118, 4 behind SGP. We've then got a bit of a gap of 20 points to Conrad, who now moves up to fourth place, 2 ahead of Demonar, who moves down to fifth place. Jason holding on to that sixth place, and he's got a healthy gap back to Formula Gary, who's having a fairly decent season, it must be said. Seventh place, 59 points for him, now 1 ahead of SRI and Rich Blues, so still a battle there between those three. Art Pal in 10th place on 48 points, 10 behind Rich and SRI, so could still potentially catch them up. And then it's 10 points to Jimmy in 11th, and then we've got a bit of a gap to Bob and Twilight. Gotta say, it's been an interesting championship in the Toyota Junior, with many different winners, which has been fantastic to see. Some brilliant racing as the season has progressed. It really has got better and better and better. It's really good to see. And with one race to go, one more new circuit, it is Catalonia without the chicane. So good. that's how good my English is. So good, them corners. But yeah, the layout of that track, so much better in those final 2 corners. Not quite flat out either in this particular car. So it'll be interesting to see how the drivers get on with those corners. Information about what's going to be happening over the Christmas period and into January will be released as soon as we can, but as we have already mentioned, the ARC, which will be the next official event, will be in the first week of January, so we are going to have a bit of a break before Christmas, but I'm sure we'll still be online doing a bit of random races. Right, thank you for listening, for watching. You know what to do. Like and subscribe. Cheer for your favourite driver. Or shout at the ones you don't like. Either's fine. And yeah, have a good Christmas, everybody. Although we will see you once more before that time comes. Have a good one, everyone. And we'll see you all again soon.